Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
It's William and Andrew here of Allegory Gallery, and we're at Star Cottage Studio.
We're actually early.
We're here early. What?
What?
We've got a lot to do tonight.
It's a busy night tonight.
Everybody, it's busy. Hello, Suzanne. I see you're here. Thank you for joining us out there, the AG Bead fam. We're a little bit early, so we figured we'd go a little early, let some people trickle in. We have a lot to talk about, as we always do. So it's been a day. It has been a day. It is a rainy day here in Ligonier, and it is a semi-chilly day. It was in the 40s last time I took a trip. I had to get a drink because I am parched. Because we've had the heat on here at the cottage, getting ready for the cold weather, and it wasn't quite cold enough for the heat, so it's a little warm in here today. We're all a little bit warm, but knowing that the cold weather is starting tomorrow, we wanted to have the heat up a little bit in here and get things, toasted up right now. Suzanne says, we're having our coldest Halloween in decades in the 40s. Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 30s and 40s, I think, for our Halloween. It is our first frost warning is going on for either tonight or tomorrow night. Unfortunately, we are not going to get to do the Halloween thing tomorrow, really, because I will be at my other job. And the Halloween merchant night in Ligonier is that evening. So I'm not going to be back in time to do that. We were thinking about doing it from our house, but I don't think we're going to have time to get everything together. So it's going to be a porch light out Halloween for us, unfortunately. We usually like to hand out goodies and stuff to everybody. But one, it is very expensive here because we do both the merchants and the residential Halloween nights. We usually spend multiple hundreds of dollars worth in candy, which this year it's a good thing we're saving, to be 100% honest with you. And it just kind of works out to the point where not happening, but it is supposed to be very cold, and I'm kind of glad we're not having the porch party tomorrow, because it's a little too cold to be out on the porch, I think. I probably would have had the bull out on the porch and be like, here's a sign, take one piece. But yeah, we hate to miss it, but timing and just everything is not in the cards right now. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for tuning in. We have Facebook user tuning in. I don't know who you are, but if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, I am sure you can re-authenticate so we can see your name. We just can't see it. But welcome. Thank you for joining us, no matter what. My mom says it's getting colder by the minute. Yes, it is. When I got to the cottage today, it was in the near the 60s. And by the time I went to go run and get a drink and a little bit of, I got some eggs, some hard-boiled eggs. That was my lunch today. Hard-boiled eggs and some Colby Jack cheese. But I felt like I needed the protein. So that was my lunch. And when I did that just a little while ago, it was 40 degrees out. So it's dropping rapidly. So we are getting ready. We're clearing out things from in front of from all around the pellet stove here. I went and got pellets this morning and stocked up on those, and I have a delivery to take over to my mom. We split the pellets, And so I have some of those to drop off to her. She has the same kind of pellet stove as we do. And so I'll be up at my other job tomorrow and dropping off pellets so that we all stay warm and toasty as it gets colder. Now, I think sometime possibly next week, we're supposed to get back up into the 60s again during the day, but it's going to be in the 30s and 40s, I think, here for the next week or so. So that's a I don't mind the cold weather so much. It's the change in seasons that take a little while to get used to. Let's see here. Facebook users here, settled in, free, and ready to create. Nice. Glad you're here. Michelle says we are in the 70s and have red flag warnings for fires. We definitely don't have any fire warnings. It is raining. It has been raining like crazy. We actually have a little bit of a drip from our ceiling here at Star Cottage Studio. We're leaking through just one of the roofs of Star Cottage is just black tar paper, and it's been something that we've wanted to do more with. The rest of the building has metal roofs put on top. I do not know why they left one roof undone that way, but it is. So we have black tar paper, and normally it's fine, but what ends up happening, and in the fall, the leaves blow onto the roof from the nearby forest, and we have this like area where the leaves swirl together and then just drop on the roof. And it just happens to be on that one place. And what ends up happening is if it rains, it absorbs into that, and there's a portion of our roof. I guess I found it today. I found exactly where it is today. There's a piece of the tar paper. I guess that's what it's called. It's black paper, black something on the roof. I guess it's called that. You see how much I know about this stuff. But there's a crack in it. And so when it dries enough, we got to get up there and do some patchwork to it at least. But it's dripping on Barb's packing area. Thankfully, not on the computer or not on anything important. I think it got maybe some tissue paper, but even that's wrapped in plastic usually. So Barb was at our house this morning knocking on the door. She tried calling, and of course my phone is off. If I'm not awake, it's off. And she's at the house knocking, like, your roof's leaking, I don't know what to do. She was worried like the whole thing was going to come down, but this is something that one time before, and it was last fall, and I thought we patched it well enough, but apparently we got to do something else to it again. So that was part of the day today, is worrying about a leaking roof. Ownership just never, it never ends. It never ends sometimes. Let's see here. My aunt is here. Hello, Aunt Deb. Might be snow in the air. Yeah, somebody told me that they canceled the snow forecast for at least the next few days. I don't know if that's come back or not. Maybe that was yesterday. Maybe that was just for yesterday. But yeah, it's supposed to get cold. Hello, Sandra at Sweet Pea Gemstones. Thank you for joining us. We have a candle here that smells so good. It smells so good. But we have different scents going on in different rooms. We have a candle over here, and again, there's a diffuser over there. There's another candle going on in the front room, and it's kind of messing with my sinuses a little bit. But this one over here smells so good. We used to get a candle from another company, and it smells very much like that one. And we haven't been able to get the other one for a while. So I'm kind of glad Andrew found it, I think, when he was down in Tennessee. Or maybe I think it was a friend he made. So Hopefully we can get that candle again because I love it. Oh, it was Nancy. The Facebook user was me. Free of toxic environment, ready to create. That's awesome. I'm glad you were moved in and found yourself a place in the world, a good place in the world. It's always good. It's always important. Maya says you can get a wet dry patch like tar. You can put that on temporary for now. Then that's what we need to do. Because it's like, from what I can see, the crack is only like, it's just enough that it went through whatever that is. And it's only like an inch or an inch and a half big. But it's enough that it seems like water's getting there, especially when the leaves were on top. And I know I have to come up and do the leaves, but it just blanked out of my brain because for so long the leaves were not falling here. They were on the trees. And then suddenly it seemed like overnight, the leaves are all over the place, like all over the place. They just dropped in the last 2 days or so. We've had neighbors out. I've been watching the neighbors in their yards, trying to keep the leaves off of the roadways near us. Some of our neighbors, not like immediate to us, but very close because I've been going running or walking. And some of our close neighbors have some really magnificent trees, and all those are just started to drop. So it's like a leafy mess, and I just didn't get up here to do it. It probably would have stopped a lot of the leaking. Maybe, I don't know. It's still leaking, even though I raked them all off the rooftop. So just needs a patch, and I think my mom says, yeah, the rain brought it all down. Yeah, it sure did. They're all over the place. And I tried to get out there to do the gutters, but metal roofs and tennis shoes do not go well together. I figured that it's best that I not fall off the roof today. So once it does stop precipitating, for a little bit, I plan to hopefully patch that little piece of the roof and also get the gutters cleaned out here before winter fully sets in. Because that's one thing we try to always do in the spring and in the fall is make sure the gutters are clear. And then we got to do a few other things around here, like make sure we always trim the bush right around the our unit for air conditioning, the split system unit, the outside unit. In the spring and the fall, that bush gets trimmed to make sure that everything functions well and has enough room to function. And just a few those odds and ends that have to get done that are on the list. I'm sure you all have lists that you all have too, that you have to get to, right? And this season seems to be flying by. We were just talking about that today. Barb was here earlier, and we were talking about how this year has just flown by. I don't know where 2023 has gone at all, not one bit. So hello, Susan. Thanks for joining in. I have another Facebook user out there. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, again, that's StreamYard.com/Facebook, you can authenticate yourself there so we can see your name. Otherwise, welcome. Thank you for being here anyway. I'm going to remind y'all, please hit the share button. We have more African beads today, and I know maybe some of you are getting tired of African beads. I don't know if that's even possible to get tired of African beads, but we have different ones for you today. Andrew has been going through his private stash. We've also talked about some of the beads we've gotten that were found in the garage. So we're going through that. Some of these are ones that it's slow going. Let's say that. And that's one of the reasons why there aren't a ton of lots each day. But we're on day 3 of this. And the reason for that is because Andrew is going through each strand one by one. Some of these strands that we have are mixed, and some of them are very old and mixed. And so we're going through them to see what beads he wants to part with and what beads he's not ready to part with yet. Today he's like, this one is mine. It's going in the glass case because it's such an old and rare bead. So while we are giving you very good deals, and let's talk about that for a moment. There are some beads here that we are giving you today exceptional deals. Like we have bags of them. We have like 4 of them or 5 of them for like $12. We have found prices online of a strand of 13 of them for $90. A strand of them for $60. And so not only are we breaking them up to make them more affordable for you to buy in smaller lots, but we are giving you much better pricing than most of the stuff we're finding online. And Andrew just chimed in too. Also, if we sold by the strand, some strands would be over $600 a strand. Yeah, these are old and they're more rare. And like I said, we are looking them up to see what they compare to. And Suzanne was talking about those resin beads. I was telling Andrew, Suzanne, about how you were saying how expensive those resin beads are for you to get. Those are an exceptionally good deal. But you know, our conscience can't allow us to charge you those kind of prices when we get a good deal. So, and that's really what it is. Like, we can't charge you $90 for 13 beads like other people are doing when we know that, you know, whenever we bought them, we didn't pay that much for them. You know, prices go up over time. Inflation happens on beads too. We just don't feel right doing that. And so while we could, and we could make more money maybe doing it, maybe, you know, it depends on if people are going to buy them anyway. We just can't do that to people. So that's one thing when you buy from us that we always tell you, we give you the best deal we can. And sometimes that deal, sometimes that means you might have to pay a little bit more because we can't buy in bulk, like a lot of bigger stone vendors and, you know, a lot of bigger bead stores can, and they can get that price way down sometimes on certain things. But that also means that when we pull things from our private stash or we find the old and rare, you know, in warehouse buyouts or other buyouts that we do, you are still going to get an awesome price, even if we could charge more, even if the market says we should charge more. So we like to think that in a lot of ways it evens out, you know, in your favor, we hope, but that it all evens out in the end. Sometimes you pay a little more from us. Sometimes you get a really, really exceptional deal. Andrew says we looked at one strand online and it was over $16,000. He's like, what in the world, right? So, you know, that's one of the things. Like, we care about you. We care about our community. We care about, you know, getting you the history and the information about the beads. Not only just, I mean, it's care the whole way through the process. Whether it's curating things, we care about the curation. We want to know where things come from. We want to be able to pass that information along to you. We want to care for the beads that are in our possession, whether that means sometimes we keep them in our private stash, whether that means we put them online for you to purchase. But in all steps, you know, there's care that goes into the process. This is our life, this is our lives, this is our life, this is what we do. and things I think that you do for a living, hopefully, if you're lucky, fulfill you and, bring joy to you. And I think you have to honor that in some way. And so making sure that things are cared about, making sure that you all feel cared about, making sure that you feel good about the things you get from us, and the business that you do with us. Not only the business, but the friendships that we have and that we make together. And I think that is, I think the modern world loses that sometimes. I think it's something that uh, bigger places can't do or won't do. And so I hope that matters. And I think it matters to most of you out there, that AG Beat fam out there who sticks with us and believes in our mission of what we're doing. Suzanne says, I've said this before, but I'd rather buy from you all for all the reasons you are stating. Thank you. We appreciate that. And that's what it's about. It is about supporting one another. So when we get good things in stock and we, get a good deal on it, we support you as best we can by passing along a good deal. We have to make a living, and we still try to do that. If, in some ways, our living could be easier if we price things what the market can handle, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people price things at whatever the market can handle, and maybe sometimes we should, but again, morally, it doesn't feel right to do things like that when we know that we don't have to. So that's where it is. And like I said, sometimes probably should charge a little more. It would make things a little easier, but it's we feel that we do what the right thing to do is, and that's really what it comes down to. We want to do the right thing by all of you. So that is that for today. What time is it? My watch died today. Okay, 5:21. I'm just keeping an eye on time because at 7 p.m. tonight, we have to move on to the Inspired by Reading Book Club meeting, which is 7 to 9 technically. I don't know if anyone's planning to join us. I think we have 3 books to cover because everything has been discombobulated, and if we don't do it now, we're never going to get it done. So we got to talk about those 3 books. Here's the thing, though. I've not gotten to read the books, but Andrew has another meeting that he must be on at the exact same time. Now, his meeting may finish earlier. So I am going to host the Inspired by Reading Book Club. But for those of you who have read any of the books, I hope you will join us and help me lead the discussion. I can talk about looking at what you all made. We can talk about how you liked the books, what you didn't like, what you did like. But again, I've not gotten to read them. My work process doesn't match so well to listening to audiobooks and doing things like that. I wish it did more, because when I do get to read the books, it's nice. But I only get to pretty much listen to books in the car, and I'm rarely in the car these days for long enough to do that. So I hope if you've read the books, you'll join us on the Zoom tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll chat with us and let me know what happened in the books. Spoilers are okay at this point. It's been months for some of those books, and I'm just very interested to see what you're all making inspired by these books. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a book club called Inspired by Reading. You can find more information, including the book list, on our website. Andrew asked, did you tell him about the Rude Awakening? Yes, I did. And my aunt said they make a black tar patch that we should be able to get. That's already kind of ready to go to patch that. So hopefully we'll be able to do that quickly. But yes, so book club is tonight. Andrew will be missing part of that due to a conflict of other meetings, but we cannot postpone book club again. We've already postponed this book club like 80,000 times. So Suzanne says, we just got interrupted by 2 ads. Not fun. Huh. That's weird. I know. I thought it was supposed to start in November. Maybe it started a little early. YouTube is doing a new ad structure. I'm going to have to go into the settings since I know it's taking place. It's already happening, and see what's going on. I mean, in some ways, that's good because we make some money on those, but it's not good that it is interrupting the live feed. So I'm going to have to go and see if I can check the settings. I'm going to make myself a note to do that right now. Yeah, so they must have moved into the new ad structure. Suzanne says, that's why I listen to both ads. Thank you. Because if you listen to them and watch them, we get money. But it also takes time away from what we're actually saying, which is not good during a live. It's one thing when we put them in. Oftentimes, we don't put them in the lives until after the live. And then when you watch the replay of the live, you will see ads generally. But I don't try to put them in during the live. It's usually in the aftermath. Once it processes the live, then it goes through and puts in some ads. So that's why you'll usually see them in a rewatch, but you don't usually see them during the live. So I need to see what those settings are. So I don't know. Yeah, Andrew says that way people don't miss stuff. Yeah, because usually, how is it working? Is it when it puts the ads in during the live, for all of you that did it just now, did you come back to missing stuff, or did it just push it forward? Like it kind of rewound it for you. What did it do? That's an interesting thing. I'd like to know that too. Because on YouTube, you can rewind during a live. So are they putting an ad in, and then when you came back from the ad, did it leave off where you were, or did it just make you miss out on what was being said? Let me know. Suzanne says, it just popped on. I missed stuff. See, that's not good. That's not good. Amanda says, I think I missed stuff. I don't think it paused. Okay. See, that's not good. When they talked about the new ad structure, they were talking about doing some of this stuff. They are taking away some of our options and some of our the kind of nitty-gritty that we can do with the ads. Andrew says, oh, we're not doing trick or treat this year. I already talked about that too, Andrew. Andrew had to run. I think he ran home real quick. So he missed some stuff too. Yeah, we talked about we're not doing trick or treat at the store or the house too. So let's see, what's everyone saying? Cheryl says, I have YouTube video of you on my tablet, but I'm not seeing any ads with the live so far. It probably also depends if you are a YouTube premium member. If you pay for the premium membership, you probably will never see ads. And when I read through, it's very, they're taking away the customization of some of the ads because they're saying that what they have found is that their algorithms do better for, I guess, most creators than what creators do for themselves. So I don't know, But yeah, I don't like the fact that you're missing things in the live. So I have to see what those settings are. And if it's in the setting for the live, if it's in the global settings, I have to find out. But they did say that it wouldn't happen for everyone. So I don't know what that means, other than if you're a premium member or not. They really didn't go into much detail about that. So it seems like this stuff is starting to happen. Sure has no premium or pro account. Huh. That's very strange. Yeah, they said it wouldn't happen for everyone. Yeah, that's weird. Wonder why. I wonder why. So I'm going to have to see. Michelle said, had to skip what you were saying to catch up. Huh. Okay. Strange. Strange. Definitely going to check that out. I don't know how often it's going to happen during this session, everybody. I don't have any of my devices with me to be able to do a quick check in the studio, in the YouTube studio, or I would, to see if there's anything I could change for this. Suzanne says, I have to be honest, missing some of the chat is one thing, but missing selling an item is no good. Yeah, no, I don't want you missing anything. Andrew says, I wonder if it's done on a timestamp schedule. I don't know. I have nothing. I didn't bring my computer with me to see. Hold on. I'll be right back, everybody. This would be a good time for a commercial break, but wonder if you're all going to see one or not. Okay. Hello. Back again. So I just went into the studio and I turned monetization for this video completely off, which it was on, which it doesn't normally turn on until we turn it on later, but it was on. So I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if that's going to turn it off mid video like this, if it's going to control that or not. So hopefully it works. And then I'll turn it on after the video like we always do. So hopefully the ads are shut down for this video, and then I'll go into the settings later and see what I need to do when we broadcast from StreamYard automatically like we do, and see if I can change some global settings. So let me know if you get another ad again during this video. It's always something. You got to keep up, right? And sometimes even when you think you're keeping up, like I didn't think this was supposed to start yet. Yeah. And the monetization looked different on this video. It was set under let YouTube decide, and it was under moderate settings. So we'll see. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Julie says on Facebook, the live paused, could still see you, but garbled voices and train noises, and then unpaused and took up where you left out. It should have nothing to do with Facebook. I don't know why it would. That might have been a Facebook glitch, but there is no monetization on Facebook. We should be, and it streams through It streams through a different way to Facebook, so that shouldn't have had any impact. It should have only had an impact because we don't have monetization features on Facebook like that. So that's weird, but that could just be a Facebook thing for now. We've had some issues today, but yeah, there's no ads on Facebook. So that's kind of a nice thing, but we also make money off the ads. So I'm going to say watch the ads when they come up, but it should. I don't like that they're interrupting the stream when it's live. There used to be a way, I'm trying to think, the way they used to do it is if you had one person like in the background on the computer, you could have someone like me chatting and talking, but then someone else could, you go, and let's take a break right now. And then you could do it during a live. And you could do it during the live and you could put ads in at times when you chose to do it. But this is not one of those things. And we don't usually have two people running the live stream like that. I kind of wish we could, because then we could definitely say, okay, everybody, watch the video, watch the ad right now, because it helps us. And then you wouldn't miss anything. So anyway, Suzanne says, the only ad I didn't watch was something like 27 minutes. Yeah, sometimes they put like 30-minute ads. I'm like, who is going to watch a 30-minute ad? I guess if you're just watching a lot of stuff and you're like cooking, maybe you don't. That's the only time I've probably watched an ad like that, is when I've had it running in the background and didn't even realize I was into an ad at that point. But yeah, so always something changing, always something new. I'm gonna have to dig into the settings and figure out what it's doing, because it did look different just when I went to change it now. But hopefully I just canceled all of the ads during the live here, and you won't miss anything. There are ads during our replays. Often we do turn those on. Usually a day or two after the video has been live, we turn on the ads for replays. And we do hope you watch those ads, because it does help us. We actually get money every time you watch them. And then I don't know for sure, but I think the more ads that your channel gets and that people watch, I think they show your channel to more people. That's what I think. But that's unproven, right? But it only makes sense. If you're watching the ads on somebody's channel, they're going to show that channel to more people. So it does help us when you do that. It doesn't help you or us when they do it during a live show when you're trying to buy stuff, right? So let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'll try and figure that out on our end. All right. So I don't know what else we talked about. There's a lot going on this week. Tomorrow is Halloween. Yay. And oh my goodness. So Jen and I are not going to be filming a tutorial tomorrow, but I also don't know when Jen and I are going to film the Saturday morning tutorial, because her week is crazy busy and my week is crazy busy. So I'm not quite sure when that's going to happen, but hopefully we will have a Saturday morning tutorial for you at the end of this week, but we shall see. I will keep you all posted on how that goes. Jen's working on a lot of stuff this week again, and it's insane. I was going to be like, well, we're not doing it at Halloween, but she has kids. She does Halloween. They go out and get candy. So they're going to be doing that, and we'll see. We'll see when we can do our tutorial. So that's that. So today, roof leak. Not great. Got some African beads for you at really great prices. Old beads at great prices. That's pretty great. We're going to show you those very soon, because we have book club coming up at 7 p.m. tonight, 7 to 9 p.m., which I didn't read the books. Not great. But hopefully some of y'all out there who are on the Zoom did great, and can kind of lead the conversation about the books. I would love that. So if you're out there and you're watching and you're ready to go to lead a conversation about a book, let me know. And hopefully we'll get you in on the Zoom and you can help do that. And because Andrew is going to be on a mandatory other meeting for some of his other work that he does. And so he won't be in the book club at the beginning, at least. He's hoping that the meeting does not go as long as the book club goes, but we don't know for sure how long that meeting is going to go. Oh, that's a new thing too. Andrew says sale tomorrow. So we are having a sale tomorrow. We are going to start our our Halloween after Halloween sale. I think we're just going to have a nice discount off of Halloween items, kind of a after the holiday stock up for next year kind of thing. So anything that's left in the Halloween collection is going to go on sale. We might turn some other things on sale. I don't know. We'll see what we get to. But stay tuned for that tomorrow. That's going to happen in the online store tomorrow. So get ready. Get ready for a sale. It's probably going to be more like a flash sale. It's not going to last too long. We're not going to do an extend a stay on it, as we like to an extend a stay, as Andrew likes to say. But we will do it for a little while. Diane says, was there a creative make-along this month? I don't think so. It's just been too wild of a month with the holiday and with Andrew's family and everything going on. We've already talked, I think Andrew talked a little bit about the creative make-alongs, whether we're going to keep doing them or not. We put a poll in the Inspired by Reading book club group, whether people want to keep doing the book club, if that's something you all actually are getting something from. I know we've been sporadic with it, but is it something that you are finding that helps you to create and helps you to feel inspired? Or is it something that is feeling more like a chore to you, like another thing to do? There's a poll in the group whether we keep doing the book club or whether we push resources to somewhere else. Norma says, I read one book and beginning of the other two. Good, Norma. Join us on the Zoom tonight and you can help lead the conversation, because I did not get through the books. I didn't even get started on the books. So yeah, we're deciding, but before we put out requests and ask you what kind of books and what titles you want to read for 2024, we want to see if you're all even still interested in the book club. So we're kind of going through a lot of our things and wondering, are you interested in doing this still? The creative make-alongs are one of those things. We are not going to be tying creative make-alongs to any type of kits or mixes going into the future, or at least for the near future. The Design Challenge mixes sold okay. The Global Adventure kits barely sold in some cases. So we are not planning to continue with most of those. Every once in a while, of course, we may come out with a Design Challenge mix or maybe a Global Adventure, but we are not doing them regularly.
Of course, when I said we probably wouldn't do it, then I started finding stuff that I wanted to
you wanted to do. Of course. Andrew's back, by the way.
Howdy. It got Desperation Station style for a second.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Run home. So yeah, and we're also the creative make-alongs. They used to be tied to a particular thing. We're going to continue the creative make-alongs. That's the plan. We do want to do one every month, but we may take off for the end of this year. We'll see. With Thanksgiving, with Christmas and Hanukkah and all the holidays happening, it makes,
Like if
numbers
people want to show up,
numbers drop, and we already don't have a ton of people who come to them.
if people show up and want to do it for the end of the year,
Yeah.
then we'll be there.
Yeah.
But if it's just me and William, then we will eat dinner. And
Right. And we're sitting here like
do our
this.
work.
Yeah. We've got dinner to eat. We love
I
hanging
don't
out
know
with
what we're
you,
gonna
but when it's just, we can hang out in the quiet of our own home. We don't have to be online together, Andrew and I. So
I know we can talk to each other across the room.
right, on our couches from our separate couches.
Right.
But so the book club, Lennis says usually have one sci-fi book a year, and I always have good intentions about reading it, and I have failed. We try and mix up. We took the entire book club list this time came from all of you out there. I don't think we picked a single book on our own.
I may have strongly suggested Alice Hoffman book.
That was one, but generally the entire list came from all of you. So when we put out, if you want to keep doing the book club, when we put out the call for books, please put down the books you think will be good for inspiration. Remember that, not just a good book, because a good book's nice, but what do you think is a good book for inspiration and jewelry making or craft making or clothing making or cooking or just creation?
Are you gonna flip it soon? Because I want to pop on before you flip it.
Oh, okay. So back to the whole thing. If you are in the book club or you're thinking about joining the book club, go to the Inspired by Reading Book Club group and click on the poll. We've only had like 6 people or 8 people answer. We want to know from all of you, do you want to continue the book club? That's one of these possibilities. Continue the book club as is. 2, invest time in something else instead of the book club. That might be more creative make-alongs. That might be different kinds of events. But not having the book club in our brains makes room for something else. But if you like the book club, click on you want to stay with the book club. All right?
Yeah, we've had the book club for over a decade.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
Since 2012, I think we started the book club. So that's 11 years, with some hiatus for the that big pandemic thing that happened. But Diane says, I like the creative make along when I can make it to them. I do understand it. You take off November and December though. Norma says, I like the creative make alongs, but Friday isn't always the best for me. When it was Thursday, I did better. I'd like to join the book club eventually, but I just can't add anything else to my list, says Diane. Norma says, I like book club, but I do have trouble keeping up, and I'm often lacking inspiration to make something as well. Well, let us know, everybody.
You always do such a good job.
I know. Everybody does a good job when they get on there, but let us know. I'm going to let Andrew wants to pop on and say hi.
I know my face.
What is going on?
He's like, what?
Special announcement? What is this?
Hello, everyone. Of course, I feel like a child because he's taller than me.
You can scoot the chair upward.
Anyway, so as many of you know, I'm on the board of directors for Touchstone Center for Crafts, which is in Farmington, Pennsylvania. I have just completed, as of next week, 2 years as a board member. 1 year as an appointed board member. The board member. So 1 year as an I've got
squeaky shoes.
It's not a mouse, y'all. I'm not step on mice. No. 1 year as an appointed board member and 1 year as an elected board member. Right now, there is something very important going on at Touchstone. And one of the things that's happening right now is there is a board or an annual meeting for our membership. It's not just for in-person, which historically it has been an in-person event, but as we kind of go along with the times. It is moving to being a hybrid event, which is a Zoom login and also in person. At this annual meeting, there are some changes that are going to be happening to the bylaws. And that is one of the reasons why I'm on right now. Normally I hide behind the camera, but I think it's really important that if you are a board or if you are a member at Touchstone, or you're considering to become a member at Touchstone, that you do so now. And I hope that you will vote yes for the bylaw changes, and that you will vote for the existing board members who are up for re-election. I don't actually know the person who was appointed, who's by the floor, so maybe he's nice and whatever. But I have worked with the other folks who are coming back on the board, and they're all really wonderful people. One of them was actually one of my teachers, and I would be so sad if any of them got bumped out of their spot, because they've all worked so hard on the current plans for Touchstone. And I briefly want to talk about what this kind of means. I know this is not necessarily an allegory gallery thing, but it is a thing that's really close and near and dear to my heart. And if you don't know what Touchstone Center for Crafts is, it's a craft school right here in southwestern Pennsylvania. During the pandemic, I kind of didn't know we didn't know what to do. William and I, we couldn't leave the house. We couldn't go to work. We were stuck together, and we did a lot of soul searching. We were like, what do we do if the store doesn't continue? What do we do if we have to get other jobs? What are the things that we want to do that we couldn't have done before, or the things that we've always wanted to do but never thought we could? And for me, one of the things that I wanted to do was to go back and further my arts education. Not only because I think that it makes me a more valuable contributor to our small business, because as a teacher, I am then able to impart what I know to all of you out there. But it's something that I've always wanted to do as as a young person. I wanted to get my MFA, but I couldn't afford it. And it was something that really was kind of a dream crusher at the time, because I had thought, well, maybe I'll go into teaching or something like that. And my dad, he's very practical, and he's like, well, you could always go into teaching. So anyways, when that became not an option, life carries on. And it was always something that I wanted to do. So I started going to the local craft schools. I started going to Contemporary Craft and Center for Metal Arts and Touchstone. And I started going to Touchstone a lot because it's a really amazing place. It's a wonderful resource. Of the craft schools, it's also probably one of the more inexpensive options. They also are very, very generous with scholarships, which is how I actually got a chance to go my first time, because in the pandemic, we didn't have, we had like $0 coming in a day kind of thing. And I was like, William, can I have $600 to take a class? If I asked him that, he'd probably I start laughing hysterically. Anyways, so I got to go on a scholarship my first time there. And it really changed my life, and in a very good way. It helped me heal in a lot of ways. And it really was something that was very special to me, and I will reflect back onto it. I made some of the most hideous looking things I've ever made in my whole life. But with that being said, I also learned so much, and it has really shaped my life in a positive way. And because of that, and because of my activity with the school, they eventually asked me to join the board. So right now, what's happening is the way that the bylaws are written it is written as a membership-driven organization. In the very early days of Touchstone, that was the way it was. That was exactly what it was. It was member-driven organization. A bunch of people got together who were all crafters and makers, and they wanted to put together this organization, and that's how it went. That I've been a part of many grassroots organizations like that, where we were member-driven specific. However, as the years have progressed, we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. It's a different organization now. It's $1 million organization. There are funders who provide grants and opportunities that are very, very special. It's a different position than we were in the past, and it's something where Touchstone is growing. So there are a couple of things where there are land purchases on the table, where Touchstone is securing its borders and making sure that the natural landscape that Touchstone sits on will remain pristine and will remain, a place, a retreat for people to go to. Because there are places like, they do still strip mine in southwestern Pennsylvania. And if the adjoining property decides to do that, that can have residual effects on the current campus. So it's very important that we grow. As we grow, though, we become what some would consider a target. At one point in the history of Touchstone, there was an attempted hostile takeover. Now, I use those words kind of loosely, because I feel like the people at the time were doing what they thought was the best option for the continuance of Touchstone. So that is, Abby says, membership-driven nonprofits are a disaster and create a huge amount of unpredictability. Something similar to the Carver governance model is so much better. So yeah, if you're a member of some nonprofits, you may have seen that happen, where like the Sierra Club, for example, their whole mission is to protect trees. And at one point, a bunch of membership people flooded the people who were backed by the fossil fuel industry, and they completely changed what the Sierra Club, and there's a lot of litigation and a lot of back and forth, and it's a problem. All right. So what the bylaws state right now is it allows for members to vote on the bylaws and to nominate from the floor. And that's great. However, that worked historically. However, the organization is in a different position right now. So what that means is that by having this kind of opening, it's a loophole that could, it could open the door for outside influences to influence or even take over the organization. So, there are people on the board and who are a part of the Touchstone family, the extended Touchstone family, who are lawyers, they work in nonprofits, they are very well versed. And when they saw this, all the alarm bells started ringing for them. So what this means for us is that this weekend, there is a vote. If you become a board member or a member of our membership, the lowest tier is $50, and it will allow you to vote on this change to the bylaws. Do what?
I think it was $40.
It's $50. It's $50 to join, yeah. So I know that's another topic as well about making things equitable. But what we would ask is that if you are a member or you decide to become a member, to vote yes on the bylaw changes and to vote for the board members who had served previously to come back. Hopefully, I don't know if the person who's was nominated by the floor is a good fit or whatever. If he decides to reapply, then he can go through the proper channels of going through the nomination committee and becoming vetted that way, which is a good thing. It protects the organization from a myriad of liabilities. So, for instance, somebody could be like a crackhead and a child molester, and they could get nominated by the floor, and then the organization then has to work around all of that. So I don't know, I'm not saying anything. Obviously, I'm not saying anything. But that is a hypothetical situation that could happen. And I would love it if we did not have to go on the news and all that business. And yeah. Susan says during the pandemic, someone at the beloved station changed the bylaws so paying members who had a vote on running the station were changed to donors with no say in running the station. So that's kind of what's happening. But it's being done in a way that protects the organization from being taken over, basically. I don't know what your station is, what the whole thing about, like, why they decided to do that. For us, it's to close a loophole, and there are other reasons why the bylaws are changing. Part of the reason why those bylaws by part of the reason why those bylaws are changing are because they need to be updated, for one, to be more inclusive and to have the language be less sexist. So there's like a chairman of the board. So that would be, if you're a woman, that would not be appropriate, right? So things like that are being changed. They're also changing different structures as far as how the votes are of the board are tallied, and it's locking down some of those checks and balances to keep the organization running smoothly and as efficiently as possible. And also, the biggest and most exciting thing is that they are creating a special new committee, which is being written into the bylaws. It's a membership engagement committee, and it's going to force, because if it's in the bylaws, we have a fiduciary responsibility to uphold and support those things. So this new membership committee will be a way for the membership to still have a voice. It will be still a way to talk with the membership and see what we need to do to serve them the best we can as possible. Right now, I don't feel like we serve our members as well as we could. So for me, I like to get a value for my money, basically. Y'all know me, I'm not necessarily thrifty, but I am kind of conscious about stuff. So I grew up very humbly, and it's important to me that if I'm going to spend money, that I know what I'm going to get as a return. And so for the membership, you get a discount, but I think membership should be more than a discount. It makes it so that people can be, they can get professional development. They can get perks like, a members exhibition every year, every other year, or whatever. Or they get talks that are exclusive to the membership, so that there is some value to it. And it's not just me signing a name on a piece of paper so that I say that I support something when, there are other ways of supporting the organization financially. All right, so that's my kind of plug. William's going to jump back on. And yeah, so hello, everyone. I also wanted to add a little personal note, and I'm trying not to get all super choked up. But I wanted to thank all of you who have been helping me and my family as we navigate my father's health. It's been a really hard time, and not just in one way, the expected sort of way, but it's been really difficult in a lot of other ways that I don't really want to get into because it's kind of messy. But I will say that we appreciate all of you out there. I couldn't do what, I couldn't just up and leave if it weren't for you out there. So thank you so much for helping me and William and our family navigate this kind of uncertain time. And that's it. I'm going to go. Our digital, what do you call that? Virtual assistant in the background is like going to underscore it. Where,
Yeah, it just went after you said that. I was really weird.
I'm going to be in the background for another hour.
Yeah.
Another hour. So another 40 minutes. All right. Bye.
All right, everyone. Are you ready to see some more beads? African trade. Many of these beads we're going to show you today. Some are more modern, but most of them are from the early 1900s. So stepping it up, I guess, a little, because we did a lot of 1700s and 1800s in the last two shows. So we're going to the 1900s now. Like when some of us were born, right? The 1900s. So weird to think that.
Wait, I think this is like 1908.
So yes, but we were still born in the 1900s, right? That's how those young people talk about us now.
Octogenarian, centenarian. What do you call the
That's like
100-year-old people?
Centenarians, right?
Yeah, unless you centenarian, I don't think you born in 1908.
I didn't say that though. I just said we're born in the 1900s. That's how the young people talk about us now. Did you know that?
Did you see that meme where somebody looked at somebody's ID and they're like, "That was quick," and then they said, "Oh, I saw the 19."
They don't have to checking dates for drinking. Just see that 19. It's enough. It's enough now. Doesn't matter when in that 19 you were. Anyway.
Yeah, 1999, you still old enough.
Right.
You're more than legal.
You're more than legal. Diane says, I ordered a small veggie pizza and just got a large pepperoni pizza delivered. That's not great. Guy felt bad, but I was like, I'll just eat this. I won because I got a bigger pizza than I ordered. I guess, except we couldn't have eaten that pizza. It was lucky you could have actually eaten that pizza.
What does that happen?
She ordered a veggie and got a large pepperoni.
Oh.
Ordered a small veggie, but got a large pepperoni.
Wait, who, Diane?
Diane.
Where'd you order?
Don't make her call them out on their mistake.
Oh.
Probably.
Does it start with an F?
So anyway,
I'm hungry.
I know, but it's a good thing you could eat the pizza.
We got some crackers and some rice at home.
I know. I don't know what we're going to eat tonight. We were not prepared.
Usually for book club, like old time book club, we'd have like a feast.
Book club used to be getting together at the store with like the granddaddy of all pizzas. Somebody would order like the biggest pizza the place made. Mm-hmm. And then we would have somebody would bring cake or some kind of cookies.
Or if there was food from
the
book.
If there was food in the book, somebody would make the food from the book. People would bring wine and cheese, and
some people got dressed up.
Some people would dress up for the occasion.
In Alice had dressed up like this little redhead boy that trades kittens.
There you go. See, it used to be a wild time for book club, and now book club is like, what are we gonna eat tonight? Because we don't have this anymore. Susan says, I got a white pizza, extra cheese from Gino's. That sounds good. I love white pizza.
Who said that?
Susan, our neighbor.
Oh,
Diane says, I actually thought it's a good thing William and Andrew didn't order this pizza, right? And Andrew, yes, it starts with an F. It's the only place that delivers to my house. They're usually really good, but we always do pick up.
Yeah, because we live on the farm.
Yep. Norma says that's my kind of book club.
I know. We had.
I know that's why like book club is such a strong part of our hearts because it was such a good in-person community.
Like people would come to it. Like,
Yeah. We had people who drove from Ohio to come to the book club.
Well, the biggest one was the Neil Gaiman book, and Sarah Jo and Eric came from Minnesota, and Jeannie Marie, she came from, she was moving from Long Island to North Carolina and still stopped and came for the weekend.
Donna says, Norma, you know, if we live closer, we could do that. I know y'all just need to move to Western Pennsylvania. All of y'all. Just move here.
Or just plan once a year, get together.
And then we just hang out all the time. All the time. There'd be so much creativity flowing around here then. It'd be really cool. Just saying. All right, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. We've been chit-chatting so much.
I know y'all got to hear the...
Let's go flip this camera around. Yeah. If you didn't see the post about Touchstone, you got the blow-by-blow here, too. That's good, though.
Because it's confusing.
Well, people are wondering why, like, and I mean, I have to say, even just hearing things, I didn't know which was the better option and what was going on for a while. And then
I think a lot of people are on the fence because they just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're a nonprofit lawyer, a lot of it sounds very confusing or very vague. So, like, when somebody says best practices, that's like what you like cooking with flour and I don't know. Like, what's the best practice of this? I don't know. But when you actually look at how things could go, that's important.
Sorry, but I had to blow out the can. It was starting to get to me too much.
You liked it too much?
I do like it a lot, but it's making my nose run and making my throat a little sore. But I get like that with different scents if they're too long.
Yeah, that one is definitely double stuffed.
It's very strong.
I had it open in the car and it smelled great, but I wasn't burning it.
Don't burn it in the car. But yeah, no, it filled this room real quick, but a little bit too strong for me now.
I got a candle in Knoxville.
Yeah, I was telling them. Okay. All right, here's a penny. Here we go. Let's see here.
Bitter, bitter, bitter. How much will you pay for this penny?
Right. What scent was it, Andrew?
Amber and oak moss, I think.
Amber and oak moss. I think the one we got before had amber, cedar, and oak moss together, and it smells a lot like that one.
Probably the same.
Yeah.
Whew.
I don't know. I thought I heard something. Okay. Oh, siren. I was like, what is going on? All right, y'all.
Some of y'all asked for this one. This is slightly different than what we had in the past.
Is it?
Because the ones had in the long time ago, I'm talking about long time ago, like 15 years ago, kind of long time ago, is they were green. These ones are yellow.
Okay, everybody. Here they are. First lot of tonight. AB79. I hope the ads have gone away for y'all, too, by the way. These are AB79. You get 6 beads for 15. Huh? Hebron. 6 Hebron beads for $15. They are going to be different sizes, different shapes. Some are a little more square, some are a little more round, some are a little more brown, some are a little more yellow. Most of them are more this yellow color. Every once in a while there's a little brown one or has some brown in it. But when are these from, Andrew? Are these 1900s?
Let me think.
These ones are either 1800s or 1900s, I think.
I'm gonna look through my notes because I don't have it. I pretend like I have a photographic memory, but I don't have a photographic memory.
So you're going to get, again, 6 of these. We have 8 lots available of these. That's one strand that Andrew decided to part with of these. So we've taken apart one strand to make it less expensive for you instead of trying to make someone pay, you know, close to $150 or whatever.
So this is, they're also called Kano beads, Kano. And these ones are more rare because they're the yellow ones. The green ones are probably the most common. And they started making these beads before the 1800s.
So before the 1800s. So,
but through, you know.
Yeah, they started 1800s and up.
But that could have been like 1799. They started.
So there we go. If you like these, let me put the banner up to purchase from this video. Take down the lot number. That's AB79 in this case. Send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. And of course, if you like what we do, please like, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere. We're everywhere, everybody. We're even on Threads. Are you on Threads? We're on Threads. Join us on Threads.
I don't know if I'm on Threads, but I don't think I've opened it since I joined.
I've been seeing a lot of uptick of users starting to happen on Threads lately. And I don't know what they're doing, but people are starting to see more followers lately. And when I go on there, I'm actually seeing people that I want to see and the kinds of content I actually want to see. So something with the Threads algorithm right now, I have found to be pretty good, to actually be good. Yeah.
And just so people know, when you're buying these antique beads, there may be chips or kind of like dirty spots or whatever. Some of these were excavated from the ground. So
yeah. So when you get these, if there's a chip in one, if it's a little bit cracked, just know that is part of the character at this point. This is not like modern beads where we're tossing them out.
Also, if you're over 200 years old and you don't have a crack on you, good on you.
Good on you, right?
I'm not 200 and I feel pretty
cracked out most of the time.
I don't feel as pristine as fresh born. Let's just say that.
Right. All right.
If it is super damaged, we try our best to fix things out.
Yeah, we're not giving you like half a bead. They have.
I got some of those.
We got some of those, but we're not giving them to you. We are, kind of looking, but I'm going to show you kind of what we mean sometimes on some of these as we go along. Shepley says, never heard of Threads. Threads is the new Facebook and Instagram thing. They're trying to, compete with X, which was Twitter. Since Twitter is a whole thing in and of itself anymore. I don't know whether
weird now.
It's so weird. It's weird.
Like when Prince became that symbol as their name.
Yeah.
And then you're like the artist formerly known as.
Right. So this is AB80.
The social media platform
formerly known as Twitter. Yeah. X. When you say X, nobody knows what you're talking about anymore.
Yeah, personally, sorry, I thought it was fun.
I know. So this is AB80. This is $6 for these 2 beads. And this there's only one of these. And so you can see kind of here, like there was a little bit of a chip on that one. And there's a little bit one here. These are old beads. So we're considering that part of the character, part of the style. We're not tossing them aside because we'd have to toss all of them aside.
No way.
No way. No way. So
I love these beads, by the way. If you couldn't tell, I love these beads.
Yeah.
And have loved some of these beads for a very long time.
So this is AB80, $6. Only one of this lot. So you don't see an extra number down here circled. That means this is the only one of these. And you will get exactly the beads I'm showing you right here. Now, what are these beads, Andrew?
I don't know. I can't see. Those are old Venetian beads.
Old Venetian. Which, if you didn't know, a lot of African beads started as beads from other places, like
They're
Venetian
called trade
beads. They're called trade beads. So they were traded to Africa for different things in very large quantities sometimes, to the point where people thought that they came from Africa, when really they were just imported and traded to Africa. All right.
These beads have been on at least 3 different continents.
Isn't that wild? They're more traveled than I am.
You've been to 2.
I've been to 2.
More than me.
Not to 3. Oh. All right.
I'm telling William I should do this one residency in that Adar Oberstein. Adar Oberstein.
Andrew's going to Germany next,
Wouldn't
apparently.
you think that's nice and fun and exciting for a young man to get up to Japan to experience?
These are AB81. Moving on, we have another kind of set of these. You will get this exact pair if you order AB81. Only one available, so first come, first serve. It's only $6 for the 2 of these, so $3 a bead. These come from much more expensive full strands, but we are making them smaller and more easily acquired.
Mm-hmm.
Sally's asking how old these are.
1800s at least.
1800s generally from the 1800s. Most of the things on tonight's show are going to be from the 1800s or thereabouts. The one exception to that, I think, is coming up. I think the ones are a little bit more modern.
Not.
Huh? They're not more modern?
Maybe early.
These ones?
Yeah, that's not right.
What are those? Still 1800s?
Those are maybe late 1800s, early 1900s.
That's these ones. So this is AB82, late 1800s, early 1900s. Beautiful glass beads.
We probably could charge more for these.
Yeah.
Actually, we could charge more for everything.
That's what we were talking about earlier. We could definitely charge more for these because we found these at significantly higher prices, but you know what we do. You know what we do here at Allegory Gallery. So this is one lot, $12 only, AB82. There's only one available. If you get AB82, you will get this exact lot of beads. I think these are really beautiful, really large holes on these. So if you're working with other materials other than a beading wire or silk thread, these will work really well for your leathers and silks and twines or whatever it is you might want to use. So AB82, $12 for those 5 beads, late 1800s. Cheryl says, gorgeous. They are. I love them. Hello, Harry. Thank you for joining in. You just caught kind of the beginning, Harry, so welcome. We talked a lot, as usual. AB83, I have one more of those. So this is kind of the same as before, but different beads, obviously. Each is handmade, so each is different. AB83, $12. A lot of great color in these. Aren't they nice? I think they're nice. There they are. I keep hiding the penny. There they are compared to a penny. In case you couldn't tell by my hand. All right, so that's AB83. Only one lot available of those. You will get those exact beads, $12. And that's going to be the theme kind of tonight. We have some that are multiple lots, but most of these you are getting the exact lot. So if you don't see a number in a circle down here, you are getting the exact lot. Suzanne asks, is this the last day of the AB lots? Andrew says no, Suzanne. He has more coming. This is Halloween. Are y'all going to be doing anything for Halloween?
We're not. We're going to be here. I'm going to be here. You're going to be gone.
What are y'all doing?
Because if nobody's coming tomorrow night, then I'm not going to do it.
The live?
Yeah. If it's just going to be me looking at myself.
Right. So this is AB84. Now Andrew said these are pretty special. These are pretty expensive beads, y'all. And as you'll see, like some of these, they have little chips in them, like that one.
Oh, is this a tic-tac-toe?
These are the tic-tac-toe ones. These are $20 for 7 beads. Were these the ones we saw them 90 a strand for like 13 beads? Mm-hmm. So 13 beads came on a strand. No better condition than this.
This is very highly collectible.
13 beads, $90. We're giving you 7 beads for $20.
What? No. No, that's not it, William. That's not it.
That's what you told me. That's what you told me, Andrew.
Huh? How your math work?
That's not my math. That's your math.
Well, okay, that's fine. Whatever. So normally these are like $7 minimum a bead.
See? There you go, everybody.
He's not going to change it now. How many is that? How much money are we losing?
I know. There you go.
So there's what? 2, 4, 6. How many?
7 beads.
Okay.
Twice that is 90. We're losing like $25. Yeah. We're losing more than we're making. So there you go. Happy Halloween, he says. Boy, he jumped out of his seat for that one. That's when we're pricing. I'm like, are you sure, Andrew? Are you sure?
Sometimes, you know what?
Because you know, everybody, I tend to overprice. So I go with his when he tells me lower.
He doesn't overprice. He charges normal.
So that's, yeah, I guess that's what it is.
And I'm like...
Andrew's like, nah, let's give him a 50, 60% off deal.
You know, in my mind, I thought the lots were smaller. So that's on me for not double checking. Oh, wow. You're not going to change it.
Nope. There you go. AB84.
If y'all don't get that, it's going back in my hoard. Guarantee.
Or how about the next one, which is...
Hey, you don't have to. You don't have to give all my prize.
Are we canceling this one? What are we doing here?
I guess you can have it.
Here we go.
Okay. So if they do not sell, just know it's going back in my collection.
He said those are going in the case.
Books are written about these beads, y'all. Books are written. I know because I have them.
Donna says, wow, sticker shock for sure. Susan's eating and watching movies while wearing Halloween jewelry I made. Donna says, not a thing. I live too far out for trick-or-treaters. Harry is hiding for Halloween and painting all evening. Cheryl says, no plans this year. Might be shoveling snow, though.
I know. I got horrified. I don't know if we're gonna actually have trick or treaters anyways, even if they do.
I know.
It's supposed to be a freeze warning.
Lennis has lived here 9 years, have never had a trick or treater. Everyone goes to one street in town only. It's a thing. That's crazy.
Your house, I would think that they would have trick or treaters at your house. You live in a neighborhood.
Donna says, I'm watching Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin on Apple TV Plus. I don't like scary movies. That's one of the movies. That's one I have too. I have that one. Amanda says, things get really busy for about an hour, then it's a ghost town.
Are your kids doing anything? Because Amanda has kids.
Mm-hmm. Amanda says, I keep the light on for any stragglers and older kids. That's nice. Susan says, we'll probably watch Young Frankenstein. Need funny rather than scary. Lena says, my friend lives on that street, and she said they spend $1,000 on candy each year. That's the rich people street.
Mm-hmm.
That's the street that...
You know what? We're not far behind.
No. By the time we're done buying candy for the retail store and for our home...
I think we spent $300 on candy last year.
It was $300 to $400, yeah.
And we got the bargain candy.
We got the bargain special.
Not the off-brand candy.
No, it was all brand name, but we got it at Walmart. We got it where we could pick it up cheap, the dollar store, and we still spent $300 or $400. Diane says we don't get trick or treaters. Okay, next up, AB86, $12 for these beautiful little beads.
I told William we too broke to do Halloween this year.
I know. We can't afford all that candy.
Huh?
We can't afford all that candy.
I know. I always like to do it because it's like when I was like, well, maybe I'll do one bag of candy. But then invariably there's going to be one kid that doesn't get it, and I'm going to be the one that doesn't have candy for them.
Right.
But it was like the one holiday where we didn't feel poor. So I always like to do something for Halloween because I know what it's like not having treats and stuff. And then that was like the one holiday.
Sandra says, that's crazy. $400 for candy? Nope. Yeah, that's what it costs to do the retail store, because everybody comes down through Ligonier and goes to the stores, and then to come home, because it's followed right immediately after with the residential Halloween. Mm-hmm. And so we end up spending way too much. Susan says, I don't turn my lights on. Dogs will be barking, cats will be running everywhere. I know. Our light is going to be off this year. Hate to do it, but it's too cold to sit out on the porch. Andrew's not even been able to be out on the porch the last few years. It's like I'm not even the Halloweener, and I'm out there handing out the candy.
You like it, though. You get used to it. You love it.
So this is AB86. I love these beads. I think they're really pretty. They remind me of little ducks on here. I know they're not ducks, but some of these little designs remind me of little yellow peeps. All right. That's a good deal for those. Those are old beads too. And tell them about these ones, Andrew. What's the story with these little squarish ones too?
They're old Venetian.
Old Venetian. AB87, $12 for 4.
Sometimes they call them brick beads.
Brick beads. And they are in this kind of square cube shape. And these are from the 1800s as well, right?
I think so. Oh, I noticed because we didn't debut the forest fronts. If you wanted to get a forest front painting, did you tell them about that?
No.
Well, there's still some available. I was like, are these so ugly nobody wants them?
Yeah, Andrew wasn't here to debut them. I had to show them, and it wasn't quite the same as Andrew talking about his paintings.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I guess they must be garbage. And he was like, no. And I was like, they don't want them. They got the other ones, but they don't want these little ugly ducklings.
Oh,
Kick it.
kick it. I saw one, I think one more sold today.
Oh, one more. Somebody felt sorry for it.
Yeah, the Memento Mori one.
The dead friend.
The dead friend.
That's all my favorites.
Okay, next up, more of these square ones. We did these in small lots because you can see they're $3 a bead, which is, again, underselling what we saw online when we looked these up by about, half price or so. But
Trying to give y'all a good deal.
yeah, like we saw these upwards of $6 a bead,
Or more.
or more.
I know
So
who not to buy from, that's for sure. I learned that real quick. I said, do what?
well, some people again do what the market can handle, not what it's not based on anything of what they paid, or maybe it is. Maybe they just don't get good deals, or maybe some of these are from Andrew's old stock too. So who knows if we bought these now, what we would actually have to pay.
I don't know. I don't think we could.
Yeah, I'm not sure we could bring some of these in anymore.
With the same Casby's we can get.
Yeah, but things like this, I don't know that we'd actually be able to afford to bring these in for y'all anymore, and and definitely not price them like this. So this is AB88, $12. Lena says, I want a painting, ... We know.
I have to write you back one. But it's been crazy time lately. You know what? I need to do something where things are less stressful, because I break out when I get stressed out, and I look
you do.
like something happened to me. Like I got into an accident or something.
You don't look like you got into an accident. Oh my goodness. So there's another lot of these. I'll show you each individual bead so you can see them. AB89, $12 for this one too. And these again are these cube kind of beads, sometimes called brick beads. AB89, $12. It's $3 a bead only. May sound high, but when you figure they could be double or more, if you buy them elsewhere, it doesn't sound so. It's like we're just giving you a 50% off sale. We say we can never do 50% off sales, but this is kind of like the 50% off sale. We're doing it right now. Clem is asking Fimo, ? No, these are glass. These are glass from the 1800s. Glass beads from the 1800s.
Right. I'm not going to shame this person because I actually know this person. But I'm going to show you some of the prices. So just take a gander at this one. That one is pretty affordable, only $15,000.
We haven't shown those ones though.
These ones, $3,000. Those ones, oh, you showed these ones. The yellow jacket ones.
Showed some of those. What ones did we show on there?
Oh, that's only $800.
800 a strand.
They're the Hebron.
There's those Hebron ones.
Oh, that's $600.
But less rare color than what you're getting.
Oh, look, the skunk eye, $550.
$550 for a strand.
And some of these are not even full strand. I better stop before I get in trouble. Somebody's like, "What you doing?"
You should show them that one, because that was on a strand.
Oh yeah, let's burn all the bridges.
Because, like, we're not making this up, that these strands were. See if you can find it again.
And then some of them sold too. So that's the other thing.
AB90, $12.
These ones.
So there they are. Oh, those are the tic-tac-toe ones. $60 for a strand. What was it? A strand of 13, and we were giving them to you. So where are those? Where are they? They disappeared. Andrew took them back already.
Here we go. Here's another one. A piece.
Each, and we're giving you 7 of them
Don't try to
for
push that.
$20. Don't try to push that. He says. He says I want that back. He says mistake.
Anybody want to buy them and you give them to me as a present? They're like, no.
No. So there you go. That's AB90, $12.
I'm not trying to besmirch any of my fellow bead sellers.
No, if people can get prices like that, good for them. But at the same time,
I could not in good conscience sell.
that's what we were talking about at the beginning. Our conscience would not allow us to sell at that. I mean, 1 strand would make our month, but
No, maybe I get over it.
You get over
you know
yourself.
What? They drive a lot fancier car than we do. So.
Right? Probably have a fancier house.
She rolled up in her Mercedes, and I was like,
She might have new drapes or a new couch in her house too.
That
doesn't look like cat scratch fever.
That's been carted to the side of the road. If you ever need a good laugh, go on Facebook Marketplace and look up couches. Because some people, they're like, I know what I got. And they got this it looked like somebody took their pants off and had the trouble times and rubbed around.
Oh, no.
And then they put it on the Facebook Marketplace. And then they're going to sell the couch for like over $1,000. And it looks like the trouble happened more than once. And they're going to be like, I know what I got.
Right.
I was like, maybe.
So this is AB91. $5 for a lot of 10 beads. This is a mix of these painted beads. Corobo. A little more modern than some of the others. Julie says, OMG, Andrew.
Well, did y'all see the one where they have those recliners and it looked like every single person with a jerry curl and then sat in that and rubbed their head around?
Lena says, if you say they're antique, I trust you. Some of these sellers are selling modern lookalikes for those crazy prices, too.
You know what? It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of them.
Not at those prices, he
No,
didn't, but
no.
but he has gotten what should have been antique beads and
Let me show you something.
end up with modern beads.
Also, when you
Andrew ain't spending no $9,000 on a strand, everybody. I guarantee you.
Y'all don't know that.
That is not our life.
That's not our life. I wish it could be.
As much as it would be lovely, that's like a few months of work.
Right. So, you understand the shame game?
Shame game.
So I got these as African beads. Let me just tell you, they are not. I did not pick these up by hand, so just don't think that I
Lost your mind.
I got drunk or something.
These are the kind of things that we say when we say that we curate for you, and we try to pick everything by hand, and we make sure that it goes through us before it goes out to sell to you all. Because if we just brought those in as African trade beads and put them on the website as that, we would be one of those people doing the same thing, selling the wrong thing. Some people don't know.
And they get they're gonna die on that sword too. You know, there was somebody who in one of those groups they're gonna fight, and they're like, oh, my grandma, she brought this and she smuggled it in her panties in the Holocaust. And I was like, no, she did not. And unless she's a time traveler, she did not do that. That's a thing.
So this is AB92, one lot available, $5 for these 10 beads. Mix and match. We kind of color coordinated there for these painted beads.
Well, I'm going to show you. No, I'm not going to show them.
Why are you not going to show them?
Because then I have to sell them.
Why?
I don't want to sell them.
You don't have to sell them. You can show them. You're allowed to have your personal stash you don't sell. He's like moving on. Never mind, everybody.
Don't look. Hang on, see when the price tags fall out. Don't look.
He doesn't want me to see is what he's saying.
Don't worry about it. I'll show it tomorrow.
He's like, I'll show it when you're not here. All right. So here are some of these black and brown. I love these ones.
Mm-hmm. They look like Bebe symbols to me.
This is AB93, $5.
What's that? If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
What's that? IY.
IYKYK. IYKYK.
That's how the young people talk.
IYKY.
Oh, this is how the young people talk. Some of them beads I see them people try to sell make us as cringe.
Is that how they talk?
That means kind of off-putting.
Off-putting. They're cringe. I think that's still old too. I think that's not even modern talk. I think cringe is already over.
Is it?
Is cringe still
What's
a thing?
Riz?
Huh?
He got the Riz.
I don't know.
That's like he's got that razzle dazzle.
We also watch a lot of like English shows, so I don't even know that the speak is the same. Lena says there's a company that makes museum quality lookalikes, but they don't lie about it. But I think people buy from them to resell and then lie about it. That's a thing too. Mm-hmm. Suzanne said a supposed friend of mine told me how light colored turquoise is a real thing. I didn't know any better then. Yep, that happens too, unfortunately.
Sometimes people don't know.
Sometimes other people don't know, and they really are trying to do their best. You know, but when you know better, you do better, right? AB93, $5 only for this incredible little lot of beads.
Are there any beads that people want in particular?
Andrew's asking, are there any beads you want in particular? You're talking African beads?
Yeah, now's the time.
Are you looking for any particular kind of African beads, y'all? Gesundheit. This is a very mixed lot, but this is a fun one. You get a little bit of all the good colors in this one. Let me show you these. So this is AB94, $5. Suzanne says looking for green African beads.
That could be orange.
Denny, y'all want like super high price exclusive stuff? Andrew's like, don't offer him that.
You got your own stash?
So you got your own stash you're letting go up?
He does have some.
Me?
African.
Me?
He acts like you don't have it, but he has his own little private.
All right. Here are some of these kind of square cube beads, but they're more rectangular and they're a little bit larger. The brick beads that look more like bricks. And these are AB94, I'm sorry, AB95, $14. Lena says, any greasy beads? Opalite?
I'm not sharing.
That he said he's not sharing.
Nah, don't even look here.
He's like, I got it, but it's not coming out of the case.
No. Not unless we lose in our house.
He's like, I gotta do it, but
That one's gonna be buried with me. You're gonna William just pop that in the ashes.
AB 95, $14.
Somebody can make a sculpture of my face.
They're like, they got to dig that one back up again.
I know. And you're like, so basically, there's a ghost attached to this one. His name is Andrew. I've been reading these books where there's all these ghosts, and it surprises me how like useless a lot of the ghosts are in the books.
Oh,
Like I'd be like, all right, if you're gonna listen, you're gonna tell me, we're gonna go line by line. Did this happen? How did it happen?
everything you know as a
I
ghost.
know.
Being able to be in on it. Talk about being a fly on the wall.
I know it's gonna be quiz show time.
So this is AB 96, $12 for these. These are, what are these, Andrew? These are some of these are like the brick beads, but with different colors.
They're old Venetian.
Old Venetian again. AB 96, $12.
I'm in, and the guy, he's an expert. Like he's probably one of the preeminent experts. But he will sass you and tell all day long. You say one word out of place, he was like, I already done told you. 9 years ago, I wrote a post.
Says go find the post.
He did.
I bet.
He did. And
Says,
he's like, I wouldn't presume that you are doing something that's against the rules, but maybe you are and don't want to be in the group anymore. He didn't say that to me because I'm very careful about what I post.
AB.
It does nothing to reiterate what I already said.
AB 97.
Boy, he gonna leave scorch marks on these people.
Okay, I'm leaving off on 97 here. Andrew, do you have a few more, or are we leaving off on here? Because we have like 10 minutes before we have to start book club.
That's good.
It's going to be good for tonight. So this is the last lot for tonight. These are the old 1800s. AB 97, $12. Last lot of the evening, but not the last lot of the African trade beads.
And I'll look for some more contemporary beads. And that way, not everything is like a bajillion dollars.
I think we've given you really good prices no matter what, but
I know, but I want to find some that's even some a little bit better.
even less. I say we go a little higher. Let's find some more rare stuff.
We want the rare.
What do y'all want? You want cheaper or you want more rare?
If it is more rare, I'll try to break it up so y'all don't be busting the bank.
Yeah, what would y'all prefer? Because what was it on Friday when we had the more rare things, y'all went wild for them. That was a really good night. So thank you for that. I don't know if that's Jermaine says more rare. She would rather. I know the rarer things at the price points we give are harder to find. So depending on what Andrew wants to let go of, though.
I know, because that's the thing is I'm like a dragon.
He's like, I don't want to give away all my stuff.
Correct.
Kathy says more rare.
All right.
They're like, we can get contemporary anytime. Let's find more rare stuff. Maybe I'll just do a good mix. Julie says rare. So tonight was rare. These things were rare. Susan says maybe more skunk beads. We still have some red and black from the other night. I don't think we sold out in either one, surprisingly.
Black or white? They don't have.
Huh?
I have some more black and white ones.
I think we still have some from the other night too. Anne says it would be fun to see the more rare things I've never seen before. Maybe Andrew can even just do a show and tell.
Maybe I'll show and tell your face right now.
Show and tell my face. Suzanne says tomato beads. Amanda says I like the skunk beads too. Jermaine says I have so many beads that I'm looking for beads that I don't have. Susan says a mix would be awesome. Suzanne says even seconds would be good.
Right. So let me show you something.
You're gonna do some showing. You want me to flip this back around?
Maybe.
Let's flip it back
So
around
this was,
real quick,
here
and
you
then we
go.
got to get into book club.
Oh, we probably should go though.
And you have your meeting.
I know, I gotta go.
Okay, he's gonna do show and tell later, tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday. Who knows? But we'll do show and tell later. We got to get ready.
Y'all want to see show and tell? I'll be like, cannot buy, don't ask.
That's right. So maybe we'll do some
You
of
wouldn't
that.
be presuming to be breaking the rules.
And we're gonna go. I'm gonna take a little break before book club. Book club starts in 7 minutes. That's not a big break, but I gotta rest my voice and my throat because this candle is starting to get to me. And maybe I'm gonna find, I don't know, maybe a different chair or a different location to sit in, because
What about Barb's desk?
I think either at the desk or maybe on the couch over there, and we'll
How do
sit
you want to
and
see their
chat.
faces on your phone?
I know, but that's what I've got because I don't have my laptop. So we're gonna figure something out. Anyway, everybody, we'll see you in book club in just a few minutes if you're joining us. If not, Andrew will see you back here tomorrow while I'm at my other job. And happy Halloween if we don't see you tomorrow. But Susan says probably Wednesday. Tomorrow's Big Candy Day. Yeah, most of y'all seem like you're just watching your own movies and stuff. So if you want to join us tomorrow, maybe Andrew will do show and tell instead of a selling show or of any sort. But and then you can rewatch it if you're doing candy stuff. All right. We'll see y'all soon. Bye, everybody.
See ya.